There are many events that led to the American colonists pushing for freedom from their homeland. The following is a chronological look at some of the events that led to them declaring independence.
The Sugar, Stamp, and Townshend Acts put taxes on such items as sugar, stamps, paint, and tea. They even went as far as charging students for doing such things as going to the bathroom, 25 cents, sharpening a pencil, 20 cents, kneading a tissue, 10 cents, leaving seat, 20 cents. With all the friction of taxation without representation, on March 5, 1770, the British shot 5 American colonists in an event called the Boston Massacre. Angry and frustrated at the new tax on tea, American colonists, calling themselves the Sons of Liberty and disguising themselves as Mohawk Native Americans, boarded 3 British ships and dumped 342 whole crates of British tea into the Boston harbor on December 16, 1773.
The First Continental Congress was a group of 56 delegates from 12 colonies, all except Georgia, who met in Philadelphia in September of 1774. They came together to act in response to the Intolerable Acts. They met in secret because they didn't want Great Britain to know that they were united. On the evening of April 18, 1775, Paul Revere made what is known as his midnight ride. Although he never made it to his destination because he was captured by the Redcoats, he was able to deliver his message of warning to Samuel Adams and John Hancock. His companion William Dawes was able to complete his journey, and when the Redcoats arrived in Concord, the colonists were ready. The first shots fired between American and British troops was on April 19, 1775. British troops had occupied Boston and were marching on Concord as they passed through Lexington. No one is sure who fired first, but it was a shot heard round the world. The Americans were able to slow a British advance even though they had to retreat. By the time the Redcoats got to Concord, the Americans were waiting for them in force. The Second Continental Congress met in 1775 when the Revolutionary War had started. Things were going badly and the armed forces were disorganized. The Continental Congress created the Continental Army and named George Washington as commander-in-chief. The Congress continued through the summer. Out of the discussions came the Declaration of Independence, the Articles of the Confederation, and the Marine Corps. The Battle of Bunker Hill was fought on June 17th of 1775. The 2-day engagement between British forces under the command of General William Howe and American forces under Colonel William Prescott. The Americans had occupied Breed's Hill in Charleston on June 16, 1775, in order to protect the shipyard of nearby Boston. The next day the British attacked. They took the hill but suffered heavy losses. The Americans fired until they were out of ammunition, then quickly retreated. To conserve ammunition, Prescott told his men, "Don't fire until you see the whites of their eyes." Even though the battle was fought on Breed's Hill, it has been remembered as the Battle of Bunker Hill. Thomas Paine was a patriot and American soldier whose main contribution was in writing. His pamphlets, including Common Sense, published in January 15th of 1776, inflamed the American population and furthered the revolutionary cause.
Richard Henry Lee proposed independence on June 7, 1776. Thomas Jefferson constructed a document declaring the 13 American colonies independent of Great Britain, and the declaration was put into effect by the Continental Congress on July 4, 1776. The Declaration of Independence was signed by 56 prominent colonists on August 8, 1776.